Friends, on behalf of My Retired Life Foundation and other allied institutions, including STHIR, we welcome you to this interesting program today on a very, very relevant topic, particularly for the elderly people. The loneliness is a commonly observed problem among the all ages of the people, but more particularly among the elderly people. And loneliness doesn't mean that you're alone. You can be in a group and still you can feel lonely. It's more of a state of mind. So we thought that to it's a problem. We know it's a problem. Now, how to come out of this problem and how to move towards a state where we are actually connected with each other, not feel lonely. We have today a program on loneliness to connection, and the program is all being coordinated by our close colleague Dr. Sapnalekha Basak. So may I request her to please take it forward from here. Sapnalekha, floor is open.
Thank you so much, sir. Namaste to everyone and good evening. And it's so wonderful that you've joined the session today because this is all about taking care of our own selves. I'll not spend much time on the context because Dr. Sengupta actually set the context here. I will just introduce you, the two of our experts and speakers who are here and who are going to have a conversation for us to gain insight as to how to move from loneliness to connection. So we have with us my close friend, colleague, Deepa Bhale Rao. She is the head of the mental health practice at STHIR. She has more than 35 years of experience counseling and being with people like you and me, helping us sort our heads out to be happier in our lives. And with her in conversation is a very young colleague of mine. She's Divya Singh. She's from, no other than TISS, and she's done her social work in mental health. And she's done her master's in philosophy. But why we find her here is because her focus has been on geriatric care and some part of childcare. And as part of her experience, she has worked with multidisciplinary specialty healthcare teams in government structures as well as private structures, and in the State Ministry of Public Health, integrated child development, and also been a geriatric counselor. She has worked with individuals, helping them address issues related to geriatric care and well-being. So she has done and she has experience of these interventions. So we thought, who better than talk to somebody who's been there with people like us so that she can explain to us how things actually pan out. So I'll hand over the floor to my colleagues, Deepa Bhale Rao and Divya Singh, for them to have this conversation, which I'm sure all of us will be benefited from a lot. If you have questions, please put it there on the chat box. I'm going to keep an eye over there and I'm going to keep sending those messages to Deepa and Divya so that all our questions are answered, all our concerns are addressed. So thank you so much, and over to you, Deepa and Divya. Yeah, I'll just...
Thank you so much, Swapna. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So a very warm welcome to everybody who's joined. And it's my privilege to be here to have this small conversation with you about a topic which is close to both my heart and Divya's, I'm sure. So we shall start immediately.
Yes. Sir, can you just allow me to pin two people or just pin Divya S for the... We've got Deepa on the screen. We need Divya also on the screen. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Welcome, both of you, and thank you so much. Please, all over to you.
Yes, thank you so much. Welcome, Divya, and thank you for joining us. I would like to ask you, should we start with the questions, or is there something that you would like to take us through?
Yeah, sure. Yes. First of all, thank you so much for having me. Good evening, everyone. My name is Divya, and as I said, before we start, I just wanted to take you through a short quiz. It's nothing technical, just for fun, so we can just start the session on a good note. So, is it possible for me to get my screen sharing possible if the host could allow for that? Okay, so okay, I've been allowed for screen sharing. So I'll just share my screen. Just give me a minute. Yes. Yes. Is this visible to everyone?
Loneliness ಇದಾಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟಲ್ಲ loneliness
Can I request everybody who is not speaking to mute themselves?
ಚಂದ
We
ಉಂಟು
can hear a lot of you speaking. It's disturbing.
ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ನಂಗೆ
Yes, Divya, go
Yes.
ahead.
Is the screen visible to everyone? Please let me know.
Yeah, it's visible.
yes
All
it's
right.
visible.
Okay. So before we start, this is just a short quiz that we'll have for just some things that you might have experienced being an older adult. And the questions are in English. So if anyone wants the questions to be translated into Hindi, please let me know. Okay. So, okay, here's question number 1. That your doctor suggests that to stay healthy, you should move around more. If you can't walk very far, what is a simple way to adapt to your exercise routine at home? So whatever the responses is, you can just put it in the chat, whether it is A, B, C, or D. So A is doing seated exercises or walking around your living room. B is running a marathon every day. C is sitting and watching TV. And D is only exercising when it's sunny outside. Let me know when everyone is done. The facilitator can let me know, so I'll move ahead.
Everybody says A.
Okay, everybody says A. Okay, why A? Why not C or why not D actually, right? D is actually most plausible. During monsoon, we can't run. It's too heavy to, even now, it's so sunny.
In winter, in rainy season, that means no exercise.
So that means you should not do exercise.
Yeah, only when it is sunny, that means in rainy season, can't do any exercise.
So is that your opinion, sir? That
I beg your pardon?
He's
that-
answering, he's responding to your.
yes. Okay, so you think it is D.
No. A is.
Oh, you think it's A. Okay, so you're with the majority. All right. So let's see the answer. I mean, everybody's right. They all say that it is important to move regardless of how the weather is. So even if it is sunny outside or if it's rainy, it's fine to be inside and do even for 30 minutes. So daily movement is an important part of physical and mental health at any age. So even 30 minutes can help with keeping the brain and body functioning. Okay, so let's go for question number 2. There's just 8 simple questions. This is question number 2. So which activity is listed as suitable to keep memory sharp? Is it A, TV, B, doing puzzles, C, doing scrolling and responding to WhatsApp messages, or is it D, drinking chai?
Habits, you can enhance the quality of your life. Hi, my name is Bharat Kella. I'm a breathing coach and certified wellness coach.
Once everybody's responses are there, please let me know since I cannot see everybody's responses.
So one person has said, 2 people have said D, drinking chai. Rest everybody has
Okay.
said B only.
Okay. So drinking chai is sharp. All right. So how does that help? If I may know just a line or two, you can put it in the chat. Or how puzzles also can be important. Why do you think puzzles would be helpful?
Yeah, puzzles are better because that is actually gives you your memory will be sharp. You're working.
Okay.
So it's actually an intelligent game and brain. You're using your brain.
Right.
Good for memory also. So
Right.
yeah, puzzle, Sudoku, Jigsaw, I do that. Sudoku.
Oh, that's very nice, ma'am. Which one is your favorite out of them?
No, but I do with the numbers and
Okay. Okay, that's great to hear. So yeah, I mean, as ma'am absolutely said, puzzles are a great way, right? And a lot of you responded, puzzles are the best way to keep your memory active
right.
because other things are all passive consumption. We are just retaining whatever is coming to us. It's just coming. We're not responding to it actively.
Right.
But with puzzles and all, it is actively
happy. When puzzles you solve, you feel very
Right.
happy that you have done it within seconds or within
Right. Definitely, ma'am. Thank you for your response. Is this
Excuse
someone?
me,
Yes.
with puzzles, no, your brain gets more active. Puzzles
Yes.
and yeah, and even I also play all the puzzles, Sudoku and the crossword, all many things. In my phone, you can see only games. As a child, I
Oh,
would go on playing games.
yeah, physical activities. So as a child, you would play games, but now you are also playing puzzles. Both are equally very nice. It's good that you've carried
Yes.
forward that interest of yours in playing games in different formats. So yeah, it is a wonderful way because it is engaging with your brain in a way, right? It's like filling the gaps or utilizing whatever information you have to, complete the puzzle, and you get a sense of satisfaction as well, right? Because you've learned something. That's great. Okay, on to question number 3. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I think the answer flashed for a bit, but what do you think is the correct age to learn a new hobby? Is it when you're a child or as a teenager or when you're an adult?
Childhood.
Okay, childhood. What about the other responses? You can take a minute and put it in the chat as well.
No limit. Actually, no limit.
There's no
Actually,
limit. Okay.
Yeah, actually, this
To keep learning till the end of your life.
That's great. Yes. As a lot of you said,
And
there
the
is no
hobbies also keep changing, no? At 10, what we like it, we may not like it at 50. And at 50, what we may like it, we may not like it at 70. It's as simple as that, no?
absolutely
And
right, ma'am.
one more thing, when from childhood, if you start learning from first, then that will remain in your brain also always. So like this, no? So from childhood, you have to start doing all this, and, doing good or reading books, play and all that.
Right.
actually
But
learning is something like it goes on all your life. You can learn so many things. There are so many new things coming up, and you try to learn so that like, it's always like learning something new is always good.
right.
I feel there is no age.
Definitely, learning has no age limit.
And there is no limit at all.
There's absolutely no age limit, ma'am.
Yeah,
And
you
in
can
fact, if we keep learning, we will be younger. We'll always be younger if we keep learning.
Definitely. Everybody has made some good points. And yeah, initially while we think, childhood will make us quote unquote better, it does not mean that we cannot start a new hobby. A hobby, we just start because we have an interest for it, no matter how bad or good we are at it, right? So I think it's flashed a bit, but yes, the answer is there's no limit to exploring new hobbies, right? So you can even do physical, cognitive things are always there, right? Like starting a puzzle. But there are people I know, like there is recently I'm sure you must have seen it on your reels also. There's a lady who became a power lifter. A power lifter means someone who can lift very heavy weights. And she started at the age of 65, and now she's almost around her 80s, and she's still able to carry that forward. So you never know how you can get good at something, no matter your age, right? So definitely, there's no age limit to any hobbies, and it always is good to explore new interests. All right, question number 4. So when you make a small mistake, right? So forgetting an item that you needed. So what is the most helpful and kind way that you can talk to yourself when you make a mistake? So there are 4 options again. First is getting angry and saying, I should never make a mistake like that. Well, who does things like this? B means saying yourself that you're bad at shopping, so you shouldn't try only.
See,
C is it's okay. Everyone makes mistakes.
see.
Is good.
Okay. What about D? Sometimes you're like, Arey, the store is only so silly. They don't keep anything proper, and then they keep moving their items around. I mean, that also happens.
Sometimes.
Right. So what does everyone think? Sorry, I was just completing.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
see.
We should always think, yeah, it's okay. I mean, like,
Okay.
everything, I mean, everyone makes mistakes. And yeah, it's always better. Like, we always should think that next time, there'll be always a next time. And we can try again. And then achieve whatever we want. It's always that. No? Because forgetting an item needed, but then helpful in a kind way, take it slowly. I mean, aram say, like, calmly, without any stress. I mean, that gives you a boost to yourself. I mean, you're not stressed, like, because I forgot and I have not got the item. So it's always better, like, to
Divya,
according to that. That is better next time. Why not? Next
Yes.
time.
Divya
Yes,
ji,
Doctor.
according to me, the C is the right one, but accept situations and the faults as they are, and then try to accept it and forgive that person and say that it should be a better room of quality or relationship or whatever you're doing. Because once you
Right.
leave, 90% of the people who accept these things come back to the same retailer or the buyer or that. But
Right.
those who don't accept because of some reasons or obstinacy or you can say stubbornness, they realize, oh, it was too late. I missed an opportunity. So you have to be more friendly and reasonable with especially elderly people. Forgive and forget and not.
And move on.
Yes, yes, that is with elderly people, but does that count towards yourself when you're an older person as well? Is what the question
I
is.
do.
Yes, that's good
I
to
do give
hear.
that empathy.
That's
Empathy
very
as human
important.
beings, but other side doesn't understand what we can do. That is their karma, I
Yeah,
would say.
yeah, that is true. We can only control what's in our hand. But
Let
it's
go.
good that you are at least carrying forward that empathy, sir. Even if it is not the person in front of you, there's someone else who could be around and notice that and be
That will correct, and that realization comes very later on, and it is very interesting that we have a good uh, forum of this my retired life. There is a lot of mutual understanding. There is a mutual of misunderstanding, but never miss this program. That's what is my motto. Thank you very much.
That is wonderful to hear, sir. I'm so glad you could join us today as well. Okay, thank you so much for all your
I'll just-
inputs. Yes, one last
Ma'am,
if we will
Thank you.
take before we move ahead. Yes.
Ma'am, I feel it's okay to be kind to yourself once in a while.
That's very important. Very important that you've said, ma'am. And please don't call me ma'am as well. You can just call me Divya. It's okay.
And not once in a while. You have to be kind to yourself
All
always.
the time.
Always. Yes.
All the time. That is the important thing. So even if it is something as silly as forgetting an item, which we all do, regardless of age. But somehow when we get older, we think that no, it is part of just us being forgetful. So we tend to also become more agitated with ourselves, right? So
Madam, madam,
yes.
forgetting is something. Forgetting is something involuntary. I don't think we can control much
Yes.
about it. So just ignore and go ahead.
Right. So everybody has different. Oh, sorry. Hello?
What I say is Geo Gene do.
And try to remember where we kept it. That also we can do. You can take some time for that.
Yes. Yes.
Mistake happens by each and everyone. Yeah, so many seniors they come to the club also by mistake they put the mic down also. So that
Thank
happens.
God.
So nobody should scream or shout at them. At that age it happens because many are 80 plus also singing.
Right.
So screaming by all the public they also get scared. But one
Yes.
should be careful because how we maintain everything in our house, that way we should be in the club also where we should maintain.
Very
The
true.
mistakes happen by seniors sometime.
Right. Right. Definitely, ma'am. You made a good point. Everybody has their own perspectives, and like you
Yeah.
said, it's about intention, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
yes. So as everybody said that, yes. Sorry, I think my screen got
Yeah, it's
moved,
not
so
there.
I'll reshare it. So thank you all again for your opinions. As you all said, it's important to be kind to yourself, right?
Yes.
So it is
And
regardless of how
reconnect
we feel.
also.
Sometimes it may be taken well or
Yeah.
maybe not taken well, right? But the important thing is, are you kind to yourself? does it matter the most when it comes to you, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's move to the next question. Okay, this is question 5. We'll just take it a little shorter so then we can go ahead as well. So please just let me know your short responses. So then towards the end of it, then we will discuss the same. Okay. So this is question number 5. Your adult child or grandchild is explaining something important, like something like a new bill or a technology, and you don't really understand what is their explanation, right? About what it is. So since you rely on them for help, so what do you think is the ideal way to respond?
D.
Yeah,
D?
yeah, D. Because
Okay.
yeah, politely you can tell them that's true. I mean, to slow down, because this age is not something like you can immediately grasp. It takes time. So
Right.
naturally you can make them understand that you're young and fresh in mind, and you have got so many things to tell, but you can go so slow with us, because all these years, I mean, we were doing so many things, but the body becomes weak, memory, brain, everything is like, it's all like working all the time, right? 24/7. I mean, all our systems are working. So naturally,
Right.
it is better to go slow and politely tell them, and they'll know what it is. Because
Yes.
love is more than anything. Grandchildren,
Yes.
of course, they love their grandmothers and grandfathers. It's
Yeah.
no doubt about it.
It takes time, definitely, ma'am. So as what, but even though we've all said D, have there been times sometimes where someone feels they do A, sometimes they're like, yeah, I mean, theek hai. And then you're like, okay, maybe I'll ask them later, right? Or sometimes it gets too overwhelming. So even though it's D, sometimes you feel A also, or B also, or C also. Has anyone experienced that
It
as well?
varies, actually. Yeah, it varies according to, sometimes you feel, okay, come on, they'll be happy. When you tell them, yeah, okay, I understood. They feel happy. Oh, okay, my grandma has understood everything.
Yeah.
So,
But the
all
next
that
time
is
when you
natural.
say you have not yet understood, then they will think, oh, I explained, but still you have not understood.
Right. So you don't want to hurt their feelings sometimes. So it becomes as if you don't want to upset them, right?
That
Since they've taken time.
young
But it
generation,
happens, definitely happens. So right, I said C. Everybody knows D is the correct answer. But here, as I said, there's no correct or wrong.
yeah, correct.
Our moods also change, our emotions also change. So ideally, the best thing is, yes, D is the best way, because while they have patience with us, we should also have patience. And as one rightly said, that I know that I have limitations now. So for them to understand, so it takes time and effort for us to understand as well. So once we explain it to them, then they will also take that with grace, right? So they will also understand that they need the patience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
Yeah, correct. It's always that, like when
yes, definitely. And life only is so
it
fast.
happens.
Definitely. Okay.
One
On to
second.
yes.
Like to say something. Actually, if it is regarding the phone or laptop, anything you want to know, what the children do, they take it in their hand and they are quite fast.
Yeah.
So when I want to learn something, I always tell my daughter that you don't take the phone in your hand, you give it in my hand and you just tell me what to do, so that I will be able to operate it.
Yes.
And
Very
that
important.
the way you learn very faster then.
Yes,
You
because you
remember
also
it like
learn it over time, right? And as you learn, you also adapt, right? We make mistakes. Mistakes is part of learning. Sometimes you take, and it always happens.
Yes.
So that's a good thing that you've done, ma'am, that you take initiative in your hand to learn it properly.
We learn it a little bit faster. That's what I think.
All right. I'll move ahead to the next question now. Okay. So sometimes friends or family move away and your social life changes as an older adult. So what do you think is the best way to adapt and be connected?
D.
D?
D. Join a new local group or call
Okay.
your.
What do the other people think? You can put it in the chat.
I think it's D, because it's always like, you need friends.
Right.
To be connected. So,
right.
So that way, like, WhatsApp is there, social media. I mean, you just write good mornings and good nights. I mean, and moreover, so many things. And sometimes we talk also to each other. So that way we are connected. So that is important in life, because when we are age goes advanced, we have to be connected with people. So,
definitely.
And always it is that everybody has certain views, and we learn also. We learn and we can teach whatever we know and we can learn something from others. It's always learning is a process which goes on in life. So that's always, yeah. When families moves away, social life is always there.
Yes, that's good to hear. And I'm so glad to hear that you have a wonderful forum as well, where all of you come together to meet.
Right.
Because unfortunately, a lot of older adults mostly depend on their families, right, for a connection.
And we
But
also have that social gathering.
Madam,
He has
let
brought
others
us
speak
all
also.
together and given us a lot of happiness
that's
and
wonderful.
motivation. Dr. Sengupta
Madam,
sir and Samita Devi.
Great.
I
One more.
want to only remark one thing.
Yes.
If you resolve the situation same time within few days or few minutes, it is okay. It is much clearer and better friendship and better bondage. But if you keep on thinking, it is going to trouble our mind only. It's all in the mind. Unnecessary stress created, unnecessary hatred, ethnic or which country, which state.
Yeah.
So all over that, we need a stress-free life, and thanks to My Retired Life, it contributes to all the other events like singing, dancing. Whether we sing alone or we sing with the people doesn't matter, but sing. That's my theory. So thank you very much, Divya. My daughter's name also is Divya, coincidentally, and I have to listen to her all the time. And that's the greatest thing. And you're really a very good, not a performer, but you're a very good educationist, I would say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you everyone for all this. Yes, it takes time. I think I'm much younger than y'all, but I mean, I've learned so much from most of the older people that I've connected with as a counselor who's worked with older adults. So we'll talk about more later, but I think there's just two more questions left.
Yeah, sure.
And then we shall move on to the main session, right? So I think a lot of you said that, joining a group, socializing is very important, right? And especially at our age, it's very nice to see all of you connecting with peers outside of your family. But many times I've also experienced older adults who are like, "Nay, I'm sitting at home, my family is there. What is the need to connect with anyone else? I'm busy with them," right?
So I'm actually see, I've got my childhood friends. We have get-togethers, and then we have even school friends.
Right.
All childhood days we are
That's so nice.
We have get-togethers and we enjoy ourselves.
That's
so that is who it gives you a lot of happiness because everybody comes together, fun, laughter, and lunch or dinner, whatever it is. So that way, we enjoy it. So there is no time.
Even having a pet or a dog or a cat or any birds, parrots, it's quite a great enjoyable time is spent rather than human beings even. I do agree with that. Thanks.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I agree. I'm also a very avid pet lover as well, an animal lover actually. So no matter what, whether they're human or otherwise, it's always good to socialize, right? All right. So, okay. So this is one more question, that when your son or daughter argues with you, this is now a slightly different question. So when your son or daughter argues with you that you're not allowed to do something, right? Like many times, I think a lot of you must have heard this question that, "Oh, ghar pe kuch to tala hua bana hai, but we cannot eat this. You're not allowed because of your medicine, or you should not eat this." So what should you do? What is the way we should respond?
I think it is seen because our feelings, I mean, you can patiently tell them and they can understand because normally children are always they want their parents to be happy and they don't want them to be they always tell that once in a while you can have. I mean, it's something like it's top or something. It's but whatever you like, whatever you love to have, you should have. But once in a while, it's not like daily you're munching the same thing. No,
there should be control on our.
There should be some control.
Correct.
Definitely. And I think that goes for any age, right? Like, I think a lot of younger people also, I feel they are like, we are young, we can eat anything, do anything. But then it later impacts them in a much different way.
Yeah, correct.
And when it comes to this, I mean, yes, it is important to talk and share your feelings. But sometimes we can become irritable and upset as well. That's also completely fine. That is normal. Okay, sometimes it can escalate into something much bigger. A lot of times we also have arguments at home, which the anger may not be related to us, but it comes out from some other space, right? And it lets out on us. So it is completely fine to not talk to anyone, or when we feel that it is irritating, it can be upsetting and irritating. But yes, after that, talking about your feelings is important, right? That you can tell them that yes, while it was important that you told me this, but making sure that you speak it in a nicer way, or making sure that you don't chide me, because many times it does happen. As with an older person, we're like it's fine, they are just yes.
It is the craving of certain senior citizens, or I should not say in our club or that. In many places, instead of eating one vada pav, they eat 8. So they start
my
giving
gosh.
8 vada pav. They're not supposed to touch it.
Oh.
Or somewhere some gulab jamun, ice cream and all that. So what has happened is we have done one thing. We put this, we give tickets, they get upset. So what we do is we put a tilak on their head. Are diya na, abhi tumko tilak lagaya, abhi Ram
Very
Ram ji.
good.
Divert the mind so that that craving, you can't stop it. Even the fingers, they do like tuck, 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 and then try to, and then I look at it. Always they laugh at me, and he says, "You're a little half crazy." I said, "I'm in love with you, that's why don't eat." See, I'm
That's
so
such a
happy.
smart way, actually, sir. That's a great way to actually hold accountability, as you say, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
In psychology speak, we call it holding accountability. Like you've told them that आपने ही लिया है, तो आपको मालूम है कि नहीं होना चाहिए. So yes, very important. Communicating
Thank
feelings,
you.
as we've talked throughout this quiz a bit, right? So, all right, this is the last question now. Okay, so what does adapting to change mostly mean as you get older?
Yeah.
Finding new smart ways to enjoy life and handle.
Enjoy life and handle challenges. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
B.
All right.
Because as age advances, I mean, we are always open to whatever is there. We should be. We should have time for smart ways, how to enjoy life, how to mix with people, how to handle challenges, experience. See, now, naturally we have a lot of experience in our life. So how to handle challenges comes easy. Sometimes easy, sometimes not so easy. But then it's okay. I mean, we have to try whatever we can, how to solve.
Yes, very important point, man. And the important thing is to try, right?
Yes, to try. Always it's better to try that rather than not to try, right?
Right.
Madam, I have one view, if you would allow me.
Sure.
I have seen that if there is a hot air coming from the door and you shut the door, the window opens, you get another opportunity. So also we should not feel bad or sad or why this person says, I hate you, I don't like, because it is maybe in a split moment of that juncture of attention.
Right.
But when the person self-realizes, because sometimes somebody hits us while in a train or a bus, अरे क्यों मारा? अरे भाई मारो मत, अभी मुझे जीना है आप हजारों बार, हजारों साल. Then I will laughter. Then they say, sorry. The reason is not saying that we are perfectionists. We have to just perform, be polite, be silent, and God gives you in silence our own answers. That is the one trick I learned. Thank you so much.
Very importantly said, sir. So nicely you've put it that हमें तो कितने और जीना है ना? जितना भी थके भागो हम उठ के आ जाएंगे चलने. Very important. So this is the last question that change, as you all said, you've all experienced change. I don't have to explain any of this. You've all lived through life. You know how you all have had some challenges that you've had to deal with over life, and you've overcome them, and now you're experiencing the joy of what it means to celebrate life together. So as we all rightly said, that being older does not mean we give up our autonomy, but you take life as it goes, right? So yes, so as we all said, this is the end of the quiz for now. So thank you all so much for your inputs. I hope you enjoyed the quiz. Now we will get a little technical.
Yeah, thank you for all those questions.
Yes, I hope you all enjoyed the questions.
Excellent. Beyond words.
And there was an interaction too.
That's good. Yes,
that's good.
I'm glad to hear. I'm glad all of you enjoyed. And for the people who also did not speak up, but I'm sure were silently watching, I hope you all also enjoyed the quiz. So it piqued an interest as to what it means, because loneliness, when we talk about loneliness, it's a very big, heavy topic to talk about, right? So before that, I just wanted to know what your experience in old ages has been. So we did this little quiz. All right, thank you so much. Now I'll quickly just go through a little bit of statistics about what it means to be an older adult in India, right? You are all part of that demographic. So just in short, before we start, I hope we have time, Deepa.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, this will just take about 5 minutes. So just to give you all an idea of, how older adults are and what the demographic looks like in the current context. So as we all know, the global population now is at its peak youth, right? But now slowly, the age is getting much older. So as a global population, we are growing older, and India also predictably is growing older. So right now, as we say, India is relatively young, right, compared to our other counterparts in the West or Europe or East Asia also, for that matter, right? But there is a recent study which they had done in 2021. So right now they say that 1 in every 10 Indians is an older adult, right? So currently it is 12% of the population. So about
माझ्याकडे आहे फोटो नाहीये व्हिडिओ आहे
yes.
व्हिडिओ आहे कुठेतरी
Good. Everybody check their mics before talking. Hello.
हो का दोघींचा नाही आहेत माझ्याकडे होता माझ्याकडे मध्ये
Yes.
दिसला होता मला
Yes. Thank you so much. Yes. So as I said, right now, yes. As I said, right now, 1 in every 10 Indians is an older adult, right? So we can see a small breakdown, which I have done, right? Out of every 10 Indians, 2 are under the age of 15, 7 of them would be within the working class population, and 1 is over the age of 65. But by the next 25 years, it is estimated that 1 in 5 Indians will be a senior citizen in India. So that's a big jump that we will have over the course. So 20% of our population will become an older adult, right? So right now, this is a breakdown of what the state-wise, breakdown is of older adults in India. So as you can see, like within the southern states, it's a little bit more compared to the northern states, because obviously the northern states have a lot more of a population. But over time now, it will be that, there will be a huge divide. Now, more people are entering in the workforce era towards the later end. So mid-30s is the most common age right now. So the most common age right now is 32 years old in India, the average age of an Indian. But as you say that over, 2031, it will see a huge jump as well. So even within the next 10 years, it's going to be almost a 10% jump in what senior citizens will be present in India. So yeah, all right. And this is again a little bit more of data with regards to healthcare and what dimensions are present in old age. So there's a bit of data which they've written that almost a quarter of elderly face restrictions in activities of daily living. So that means that, things like walking, using, washroom or basic tasks that we do every day as a functioning adult, 24% of them have issues with that. And within that also, there are 23% who have multimorbidity, which means they have 2 or more chronic illnesses which are present in them. Unfortunately, we also have 1/5 of our population who are facing poverty. And almost 20% also don't have any income. So you can see that now it is like this. So within an older aging population, it is a major concern that will come up, which the Ministry of Health and Welfare is working on. So they're doing constant surveys. So I think in 2026, again, with the census coming back, they will now have accurate numbers as to how the population is growing older and accordingly arrange whatever schemes are present. So yes, this is just an outlook of what the current scenario is for you as an older adult in the Indian state, right? So I'll stop my presentation here. Yes. So I hope this gives you a glimpse of. Yes. Hello.
Thank you, Divya. I think there was good context setting, and it's good to know the bigger picture before we go on to details. So thanks a lot for that. Let me quickly come to the questions. And Swapna, do let us know what kind of time we have, because we were not, we thought this will be getting done faster, but I think we really enjoyed the Q&A and the discussion. So no problem there. So my first question to you, Divya, is that now the family structure is changing big time, you know. Say 30 years ago it was different, 20 years ago it was different. Today it's really different. We have more nuclear families, more people living in urban areas. The joint family system exists, but the joint family doesn't always stay together. So all this is, you know, we are changing to an urban nuclear family setup. And in this process, what is happening to the senior citizens or the older adults? And how is loneliness coming up? Because I think loneliness comes up as an issue, particularly when there is, you know, people are not together in groups how we used to be earlier. So what would you like to tell us about that?
All right. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely a structure shift that we are seeing. I'm sure it's talked about a lot, but you're all experiencing this as well, right? The Indian family structures, as it were almost 30, 40 years ago, was still very different compared to now. Earlier, we used to have larger families, used to live with our in-laws, our uncles, aunts, our brother-in-laws, sisters, everybody. But now, as we've started migrating for work, you might have been the first in your generation, right, to move to a bigger city, have an independent place, right? So that means only it was you or your husband or your wife and your children. So, I mean, that is a major shift that has happened. So earlier there were so many people to connect with. So right now, again, you might have noticed with your children as well, a lot of them might have shifted to a different place to where you were, or even if you're in the same city, maybe they've moved somewhere which was closer to home. So it is a major migration that has happened with the younger generations over time. So that has been a major shift that has really affected how older adults deal, because we are all isolated. We're all in, you know, we are not connected with each other as much. Earlier, an older adult maybe would have had a lot of support from their children or grandchildren living together. But that now has become a bit of a buffer, because while we may be interacting with them, they're not present at home at all times, right? It's always that we are mostly at home or our children at home, but the adults, the working adults are all working. So it's, even the wives and women who used to be at home now, they also have to go to office and report. So it's a double life that they have to lead. So yes, that is one thing. Another major thing which has happened is, I'm sure, is a loss of our relatives and peers, as we say. Unfortunately, it is a fact of life, but as we grow older, we do tend to lose our loved ones, right? I'm sure many of you have also had to deal with the passing of your partner, which means your husband or your wife, or you have lost your siblings, or you have lost any relatives or friends that were closer to your age, which can become very difficult as we deal with life, right? Because we suddenly feel that, oh my God, I'm so much older. And you know, there are people younger than me. There's no more contemporary of mine. So discussing issue, discussing interests, discussing about life also can become a little difficult, because connecting with someone who's of our age can understand the struggles also that we go through as an older adult, right? And another thing that also might happen with this is we also have issues with, you know, connecting with people. Now technology is there, but it's not the easiest, I'm sure. It takes time to learn these new things, and again, connectivity is an issue. Even when we have to connect with people, you know, it takes time, because you are like, connectivity nahi aa raha, voice break ho raha hai, or there's only certain times, like maybe on the weekends only you will talk, right? So it becomes a bit difficult to connect. So with time also, then you feel, okay, maybe, you know, it's difficult to connect, so why should we bother talking? So a lot of these small things then become much difficult to deal with as we grow older, which is no fault of our own, but it just is part of life. So that happens as an older adult. So slowly, these things do affect the way in which our communication gets affected, right? And we slowly then can't connect with things the way we used to. It is just systematic, as we say. It is not because we have behaved in a certain way. It is systematic. These things have just come up as we grow older. So because of that, it does become a little more difficult to deal with the loneliness. I'm sure while we all have a wonderful group, but there are times where we all feel lonely, right? Even when there's people present at home, sometimes it may happen that, you know, they don't have time to talk, or they'll be like, okay, even if you want to make an attempt to talk, it is like, you know, वो बोलेंगे कि अरे मैं तो अभी ऑफिस से आया हूँ तो फिर मुझे थोड़ा टाइम दीजिए, मुझे अभी बात नहीं करना, मैं सोने जा रहा हूँ, and then but days just carry forward like that. So it does take time and effort to connect with people. So yes, I hope it does affect. And unfortunately, it's a very sad thing which does happen. I mean, in my work, I have experienced people. I used to work as a geriatric counselor and visit people at home. So there were times when one of my clients, she was a person who had a mobility issue, right? She couldn't step out of the house and she used to live alone with a caretaker. She had a child who would live abroad, so they would not able to come frequently. And this was just when COVID was like towards its later stage, but still when the restrictions were still put. I remember she used to tell me that, beta, you're the only one who visits me at all. Like in the entire week, I don't talk to anyone except my caretaker. And that caretaker also limited because they had a language issue barrier. That lady did not understand, she only understood, I think, English and Tamil. And the caretaker only understood Marathi. So that also becomes very isolating when you can't talk. So she would literally be like, I only wait for your you to come, because otherwise there's no one I can talk to, no one I can connect to. My family is all far away, but we only talk for like 15 minutes at a time. So I mean, it is a reality which is coming. So yes, it is a major struggle that is coming up in today's time.
Thank you. I think these are this is a big reality check, but then only when we know what is our issue, then we can actually do something about it. But before we go on to that, Divya, tell us, how does this loneliness, which is, I think, very systemic, we never talked about loneliness among older adults even a couple of decades ago. So how does it manifest? Because sometimes we feel, and this is something I've heard all the time, senior citizens, older adults say, oh, the aches and pains are started. Now it's part of growing old. I don't agree with that often. I think sometimes it's loneliness which kind of affects you, and it manifests as different things. So can you tell us how loneliness affects the mental health and physical health, if at all, of a person?
Yes. Thank you for that question. I'm sure, as we all said, right, like physical health is the major impact which happens. So, I mean, we all feel that, yeah, loneliness here, we can deal with it. We feel we can deal with it. But a lot of times it can also affect our physical attributes. So this can mean something like, we get tired easily, because our mental processing takes a lot more time, right? When we think about all these things, it takes a mental toll on us. This can lead to things, like you can even get headaches, or you can get some random aches and pains, which can definitely happen, or just general uneasiness which comes uh, because you feel like you can't articulate, you can't talk about it. So might as well just sit, right? Why should we inconvenience others? So it can have a physical impact on us, definitely. Another thing which can really the way that loneliness can really affect is our mood. So mood swings can be common. Mainly we can, with our old age, of course our moods get affected, but irritability is the main issue which comes up, because we take time, we take patience. So when that is not respected, that can obviously affect us in a mental state, right? So even something small, when it doesn't happen, we get irritated, but mostly at ourselves, right? So I'm sure many of you must have experienced this, that when suddenly there is nothing happening at home, or when something small happens, you feel, why should I deal with this? I'm sure the questions also that we talked about, when some small mistake we forget to get something, we're like, Arey, why did I do this? I'm so silly, I'm so stupid. We negatively talk to ourselves. Then we also slowly over time, we also can lose interest with whatever is going on. With loneliness, what happens is, it can definitely affect our moods, and slowly we will not engage with things which otherwise would have brought us joy, right? So it could be, if we know that the person in the house is busy, or our families are busy, we will slowly just be like, okay, we'll not talk to them, we'll stop taking an interest, we'll slowly just withdraw ourselves. So withdrawal is another major thing that can happen. So withdrawal means you just slowly cut yourself out of interactions with others, or because it is inconvenient, or whether because it is, normally it is not the right time. And then it slowly builds up, and then you say, ki, okay, what is the point? The same, I mean, I have also experienced this with clients I have taken. A lot of times they come to therapy because they're like, I have no one else to talk to. Nobody wants to talk to me. Everybody is too busy doing their own thing. And then they're like, okay, what will I talk to them about? What will I talk to him about? They are not interested. So that also means they're brushing us off. So they don't consider us, they don't consider our feelings. So it can become very isolating in that manner. That can also then affect our sleep patterns, and that can also affect the way that we carry ourselves. Slowly over time, when you lose interest in things and other things, you can lose interest in yourself as well. This can also manifest in things like, maybe not, grooming yourself, combing your hair, daily activities, brushing your teeth, having a bath. You just are sitting and there's nothing else. And then it can become into depression. These are signs of a depressive episode. So it can really affect, and your sleep also gets affected then. Because if you're awake thinking at night that, oh, I don't have anyone else to talk to, then you can keep thinking about it over time and time again. So it can take up into your night sleep. And then if you can't sleep at night properly, then you have to sleep in the morning. Then your entire day is affected. And already I'm sure many of you as an older adult know that your sleep patterns have already been affected so much, right? Your sleep reduces a lot. So then you have to cope with it in the morning. So if you add all those ruminating thoughts in your head, obviously it can affect a lot mentally. So it can obviously, take a toll. So if you are lonely, it can have a major impact in the way that you deal with life.
The loneliness can be an issue for mental health concerns. Thank you so much.
Yes.
In the interest of time, I'm going to quickly ask you, because we have a hard stop at 6 o'clock. We also there's some questions coming up. So I'm going to combine a couple of questions and you can be, answer them quickly. And I think this is a question everybody would want to ask. One is that for mental health in India, even today, seeking help isn't that common. People are hesitant for different reasons. So I'm assuming the same reasons apply to senior citizens even more, because sometimes they don't have agency, sometimes other people take decisions for them. So that's one. But I think the more important question which I would want you to really throw light on is that what do you do now? Because these are real concerns which one is facing. How do you seek support for mental health concern? As a senior citizen, as an older adult, when you know that loneliness is the issue that is bothering you.
Right.
So it seems like a big deal, right? They say, oh, this is normal. Everybody's lonely. That's how I hear. We just have to deal with it. And yet the effects are devastating. So if you can quickly tell us, how does one deal with this?
Sure. So, I mean, yes, while it is a big cultural issue that we have with regards to seeking help for older adults specifically, right? I'm sure many people who you have heard going for counseling or therapy are people who've been diagnosed with some mental health issue, right? Like whether it is dementia or Parkinson's or something, which is like a diagnosed mental health issue. But those are very specific things. But when many times if you feel like you want to talk to someone, it can become like a burden, right? As we say culturally, as we said, a lot of times the family members might not have time, or people around us, we feel that we are a burden to them. The many times where you also don't know what will happen. That therapy is a very trending thing that is going on technically, right? But only younger people go for it. So if it is a counselor who's younger than me, what will she understand? But just in order to dispel the myths that everybody might have, because these are all things that my own clients have come up to me asking, right? It is important to break the silence. As I said, even a forum like this where you've invited me to talk about mental health, and a lot of you are talking about how you empathize, how you have made space, it is very important to encourage that conversation, right? As you said, like if you feel something is wrong, just talk about it. Even if it may not be worded correctly, even if you feel that it may be taken wrongly, still speak about it, and speak about it time and time again. So, you don't feel that you have to be isolated. And you would be like, very surprised to hear, but this is other forums when we had conducted this. There was a lady who was like, I never joined a forum like this. And I used to always feel alone that, I'm sitting by myself. She was in a retirement home. And she would be like, मुझे ही ऐसे लगता था कि मैं अकेली feel करती हूँ ऐसे. But now I've come here and, seeing everybody's chats, hearing everybody talk, it made her feel so much better. And she actually connected with that group later. And they, as you said, joined and went for hangouts together and did things together. So it was a wonderful thing. So spaces like this can be very important. And another thing is, like, as you said, your social groups, and whether it is online or offline, with technology, we are able to connect through all over the world, right? Not just within our city or within our community. So whether you can go in person, that is the best thing. But then also going online, meeting people around the world also. Like, I'm sure all of you are sitting in different cities and different places now, but you're all able to come together to this forum, right? So it's a wonderful thing that we all can, seek support through these initiatives. So support for mental health and combating loneliness does not only mean going to a counselor or just talking, but even coming together like this, listening to something, sharing our interests, having a fun chat, even a chai. It's very fun. And yeah, it definitely is beneficial to combating these things. Another question has come about any exercises. I think if there's a bit more time, we will just cover three small this thing if we have.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'm just up to my, because we literally have 1 minute left. So
Yes.
I want you to leave us because, we can discuss the issue, and I think we've set the context well. Now, in order to battle, battle is not the correct word, manage these feelings of isolation, can you give us three things? Because, even I can remember just three things at a time. If you give me 6 things, I not remember. So give us three really important ways in which we can deal with isolation. That's a better way to manage isolation. And then we take questions from the audience.
Okay, sure. So just give me a second. I'll just show you a quick little diagram so you all can visualize what is there. So yes, 1 second. Yes. So, okay, here are three terms which I have presented. So this is just three small ways that we can connect, right? I'm sure many of you were writing that how do we combat this? So the first one is micro-socializing. What does micro-socializing mean? Just in your everyday encounters, whether it is with your watchman or whether it is with the delivery people who come, just a 30-second conversation with them. So something like, oh, acha, aapne ye laya, thank you very much. And slowly over time, if you continue talking with them, then it becomes into more genuine connections with people. So I'm sure many of you must have also experienced this, that, if there's somebody who delivers something, the newspaper wala comes to your house every day, right? So they must be delivering something. So maybe you can ask them that, oh, acha, aapka din kaisa tha? Aapne paper diya. Thank you very much. Slowly, then over time, you can learn how these things are. Like, I know someone who used to talk to the person who used to deliver milk to their house every day. So they would ask that, okay, आज आपने दूध भेजा, आपके पास कुछ और है क्या? So he said, हाँ, दही है. So the next time he bought dahi, then he said, अरे दही बहुत अच्छा था. So आप कैसे ने बनाया दही? So then slowly it builds conversation over time. So even 30-second interactions in a day, that can be very beneficial to keeping conversation flowing, and also making sure that your loneliness is not as isolating. So connecting with the people around you, even for 30 seconds a day. So the second is a social anchor walk. The social anchor walk is means that within a day at one fixed time, you should just go down for a walk. So whether you've decided at 6 o'clock, I will go down at 6 o'clock for a walk. And you can decide a specific place where you can go for your walk. This can be below your neighborhood, or if there's a garden near your house, you can just go there, take a walk, sit, and just observe what is going around you. And oftentimes you will find that there are many other regulars. So if you sit in one place, you will be sure to notice that there's some family who will come with their kids to play every day, or there will be somebody who's taking their jog of the day. So maybe you can just see them and observe them. And slowly over time, you can just, encourage whatever activity they are doing. So that is very beneficial. So there was once, I remember a time where one of my clients, she used to, we had encouraged her to go down for a walk. So she was not very physically active. We would just tell her, just come down and sit on the bench. She would sit on the bench, and at that bench, there was a small garden. So in the evening time, we would go around 5:30. She would come to the garden, and there was a little doggy which would be taken down for a walk. And I remember first she used to be like, oh, what is a doggy? I don't like doggies very much. And the doggy also started noticing that this lady is coming and sitting down. So first you would just run around casually. Then you would notice that she's come. She would slowly come and sniff her feet. check her, so she would get a little scared, but we would be like, okay, it's okay. We are all with you. If nothing happens. The owner of the doggy also is very kind. And slowly over time, she and the doggy started slowly connecting. So it was very cute to see that she would first be hesitant to pet him, but he would slowly come and she would be like, okay, I'll give him a little pat on the head. Then slowly she started looking forward to going down at that time because she would be like, oh, that doggy is going to come down, so I should be there so the doggy can see me. And over time, she actually got the motivation to come and, actually like start connecting with the doggy. And slowly, many other people who would be there. So yeah, even a small interaction at a specific time, at a specific place can be very beneficial to combating loneliness. And thirdly, quality over quantity in communication. I'm sure many of you said, WhatsApp forwards these days are a lot, right? We are part of so many groups. There's so many messages sent every day. You don't know what to do. It is just, spam, as we say. It becomes like spam where we just don't know what is going on. It gets very overwhelming. So to combat that, it is one way you can do it is you can just pick someone right? Like a close friend of yours, or someone who you've interacted with on a semi-common basis, but not very genuinely. So you can send them a message that, oh, you posted this today. This reminded me of something that happened in my, past. So something, I remember sometimes someone posts a picture of an old song. So that song can bring many memories. So there is one song which you might go back to when you were in college and you had heard that song, or maybe when you were first newly married and you might have seen that movie together. So that way, it's a wonderful way to connect with each other. There's been wonderful ways in which I've also experienced this with my clients. I remember that one lady, she actually had dementia. So she could not respond a lot. But one time there was a person who had posted a link to a song which she really loved. It was a movie she had seen with her husband when they were first newly married. So she remembered that. So she actually, called that person and she said, you had posted this and it reminded me of when we had gone to see that movie. Like both of them were newly married at the time and they'd gone together to see that movie as, two couples together. So it was a very sweet memory that they took together and they slowly started building connection. So even if not every day, but if something reminds you of someone, or if you are remembering someone, it's nice to just give them a text and be like, hey, this reminded me of you. This song reminded, or I made this dish today, which reminded me of you. So these small ways can obviously build more genuine connection and also give you some way to connect rather than just being the basic hi, hello, or, what is your everyday day like. It actually builds substance to the way that you talk. So yeah, these are 3 ways in which you can connect more with your surroundings, whether you're online or offline. So yes, I hope these 3 tips help. These are very small things you can incorporate in your everyday life. Hello.
Thank you, Divya. Thank you for that. We are a little above the time, but I'm going to just quickly, there are a couple of questions. One of them is about exercise, and I would like to say that, Swapna, with your permission, I think we can actually have another session on this because that would take, it deserves a longer time than this. If everybody's okay with it, we could actually plan one. Senior citizens and exercise is a very, very important session. So, Kalpana ji, you have asked this question. So, thank you so much for this question. We will like to get in touch with you in a little detail because it is not, we can't cover it in a couple of minutes over here. The other thing some people have asked, how do you get in touch? So we have shared Divya's number in the...
Yes, I also, I'll just share this quick, I have an email ID as well, but sure, you can share my number as well.
Yes. So her practice is based in Navi Mumbai and you can definitely get in touch with her. Do send her a message and we can take it far ahead from there, all her other details. So feel free to get in touch. Wish to somebody's... okay, I could hear someone speak. If there was a question, then otherwise. So thank you, Divya. I think our senior age or our, our older adults are our golden adults. And I think there is a lot they have to give. There is they have a lifetime of experience. They have been through struggles. And I think for us, it has been a very, very, special opportunity to be able to speak to so many of you. There is so much collective wisdom. There is so much collective beauty. There is so much, collective experience that I think there is so much you have to give this world. So this was just a little glimpse of what we could do together to combat loneliness with, with all of us who are, some of us are getting there, some of us are already there towards the golden years. And while I think 1 hour is not enough, I think this is a good beginning. I hope all of you liked this conversation, and we can, continue this here on another platform. I think that's all I have to say. Anything that you would like to say, Divya, before we conclude?
Sure. Just thank you so much. I know we went a little over time, but thank you all for listening to me, and thank you all for taking the time out to attend this session. I'm sure you all had a busy week ahead, but I'm very grateful. I got to learn from all of you as well. I'm very glad that all of you gave your responses in the chats as well as within the quiz. And I hope you enjoyed this session. If there's anything you would like to reach out to, I have given my LinkedIn and email ID, but my contact number is also given. So I work as a counselor. I'm based in Navi Mumbai. So you can always reach out for any concerns or any questions that you may have. Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Divya ji and Deepa ji.
Namaste. Thank you so much. I think the screen is being shared. You can stop sharing the screen now, Divya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, beta.
Thank you,
and
sir.
thank you so much for joining, for the wonderful interaction, and for staying till the end of the session.
And we are very much grateful to even Sengupta sir, MRL, our MRL family, which is always there at platforms, and he gives us a lot of encouragement. And we have picnics, and we have get-togethers, social coming together. I mean, all these are there, and platforms where we can sing or recite a poem, and there are so many things going on in MRL, and we are very much thankful and grateful. There are so many talk shows in this age.
Gupta, this is such a wonderful opportunity, and you have such an amazing, vibrant group over here. We're so grateful to be connected. Thank you, everyone, and we shall meet again soon. Namaste.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
I would like to add one more point.
Yes.
It is Naveen Divya Divas. I would say Naveen Divya Divas every